Margot was the kind of woman who believed control solved everything. Jim, on the other hand, believed love meant letting go. Neither of them expected that one small wedding mix-up would force them into the most chaotic weekend of their lives. What was meant to be a perfect celebration quickly turned into a battle of pride, family secrets, and emotional breakdowns, all wrapped inside one disastrous wedding invitation. This is You're Cordially Invited. Jim was a devoted single father who had spent years raising his daughter Jen on his own. He was the kind of dad who showed up to every moment, no matter how awkward or inconvenient. So when Jen announced she was getting married, Jim spared no expense, reserving a picturesque island venue to give his daughter the wedding of her dreams. At the same time, Margot was a fiercely independent career woman who prided herself on being organized, efficient, and emotionally guarded. She was planning her sister Neve's wedding and insisted everything had to be flawless. Margot believed mistakes were unacceptable, especially public ones. Unbeknownst to both families, a clerical error caused both weddings to be booked at the same island venue on the exact same weekend. By the time Jim and Margot arrived with their families, it was already too late to change plans. At first, both sides tried to be polite. Jim suggested sharing the space calmly, believing compromise was the mature solution. Margot, however, saw the situation as an invasion. To her, Jim's presence threatened the carefully controlled image she had built around her sister's wedding. As preparations continued, tension quickly escalated. Decorations were moved, schedules overlapped, and wedding staff were pulled in opposite directions. Margot began deliberately asserting dominance, making decisions without consulting Jim, and subtly undermining his authority as the father of the bride. Jim tried to stay patient, but cracks began to show. His desire to keep his daughter happy forced him to swallow insults and frustration, even as Margot openly dismissed his feelings and concerns. Things took a turn during the rehearsal events. Alcohol flowed freely, old family wounds resurfaced, and passive-aggressive remarks turned into open confrontations. Margot's rigid control started slipping, revealing her fear of losing relevance and emotional connection within her own family. Meanwhile, Jim struggled with the realization that his daughter was truly moving on without him. Beneath his calm demeanor was a deep fear of being left behind, a fear Margot unknowingly mirrored in her own life. The rivalry peaked when a major wedding mishap occurred, humiliating both families in front of guests. Accusations flew, tempers exploded, and the island transformed from a romantic getaway into a battleground. Eventually, the chaos forced Margot and Jim into an uncomfortable truce. Stripped of control and pride, they finally confronted the personal insecurities driving their behavior. Margot admitted she used control to avoid vulnerability, while Jim confessed his fear of becoming irrelevant in his daughter's life. With emotions laid bare, both weddings were restructured in a shared, unconventional ceremony. Though far from perfect, the combined celebration became something more honest. Messy, emotional, and real. In the end, love prevailed, not because everything went according to plan, but because everyone finally let go of who they were pretending to be.